as always. We've got a great show planned for you today. We're going to talk tech, talk about some of the latest tech news stories out there, of course. Google Voice is back on the iPhone. The Beatles are on iTunes. Pink announced her pregnancy on Twitter, and we've got quite a few more stories as well. We've also got a great guest on the show today, but before we get to that, let's go around the virtual Skype table as always and check in on everyone. Our usual hosts are here, Kat and Bradley. Kat, how are you?
Hey, I am good. I'm alive. As was mentioned on a different show earlier today, I've been sick for 10 days now, but I think I sound a little better than I did this morning, so it's all good.
You do.
That's good, because Bradley informed me that I sounded like crap earlier.
Yeah, and Bradley, welcome to the show,
Hi.
Bradley.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Pretty good. Now,
So,
I want to
it's
just, I got to mention real quick, last week's show, for those that have downloaded this and are listening to this episode, you're probably wondering where last week's show is. We had some issues with our podcast host, and by the time I was actually able to get it out, it was Thursday, so I was like, well, I don't think you guys want to listen to last week's tech news. So last week's show was never released, unfortunately, but I will be taking the interview out of last week's show from the guy from teensandtech.com and throwing that up as a special edition so that we can still get that out. So, yeah, that's what I went last week's show. Now, our guest today is Lamarr Wilson. If you don't know Lamarr, you must be living under a rock. He's one of my top five favorite YouTubers. I would definitely suggest subscribing to his channel if you're not already. He's hilarious. He's got a very unique style, and it's hard to explain what he does, really. We'll just let him tell you about it. I'm going to turn it over to Kat. Kat can introduce Lamarr and tell you all about what he does. He's great.
You know, Lamarr is also one of my favorite people, and I don't just say that because I like the things that he does on YouTube or Twitter or anywhere else. I've actually met Lamarr and spent quite a bit of time with him in person at various events in Seattle and stuff, and he's just a great guy. He's a lot of fun. He is no different, honestly, in person than what you're going to find online, and I love that. That's the way it should be. So needless to say, Lamarr and I have a really good time when we hang out. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people laughs. And what Lamarr does is not just make you laugh, he makes you think, and to me that's important. He's teaching you about current events and social media and technology, but he's doing it in a way that's going to keep you engaged, keep you interested, and make you want to come back and learn some more. So to me, that's hot, that's important. And so, you know, on that note, Lamarr, thank you so much for coming today.
Kat, thank you for inviting me. Dylan, thank you for having me, and Alistair as well. Thank you very much.
So now that I've told a little about the basics of what you do, why don't you tell us a little bit more? How did you go from being a teacher, a regular old teacher, to doing what you're doing now? How did that happen?
The money.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the money. So I've taught kids from kindergarten to 8th grade since, I would say, 1997 is when I started. I started as an assistant, and then in 99 I got my own classroom. And I've literally taught every grade except 6. And don't ask me why I didn't teach 6. It was just one of those weird things. But the last 2 years of the school I was working in Chicago, I became the tech coordinator because I've always had a love for tech. And my principal said, you know, for all that you do, you really need to expand yourself. You know, you're too limited here at the school. And it was kind of weird that a principal would tell me that, but he was a really good mentor. So I made the decision to leave. So in 2006, I started my own business. So I became a technology consultant for schools, basically taking my tech business, my tech position that I did at the school, and kind of making it more available for the district. So currently I work with probably nearly 50 schools, and whether it's websites or providing support to the school as far as training. I basically train teachers. I do what I did in the classroom, but I do it with teachers. I try to keep the same humor and energy, but I do miss the kids on some level because the kids are so much easier to deal with than adults. Adults are very interesting. So, but to get to your question about YouTube, I guess when I found Chris in 2008, I was looking to do something with media, and I didn't know what to do. So I went to, I did the contest and I won and got a chance to go to Gnome Decks in 2008. And started live streaming like Dylan is doing and utterly failed. So I said, let me try this YouTube thing. So I created a few tech videos that they got no views. It was horrible. So one video I did in December of '08, which is anymore, unfortunately. It was a tech video. I did a walkthrough of my house and all the technology, but I added some humor at the beginning, and that's when the views start coming in. And I said, oh, okay, so I can do humorous things and people will come. So that's kind of started the YouTube thing.
Let me say too. Lamarr's referring to Chris Perlow. For anyone who doesn't know, Chris is live streaming. He has a bajillion, trillion, killion subscribers all across the internet on every platform, and I happen to work for him. Excuse me. I am his assistant, and I upload all the videos. That's one of the things that I do, and of course I monitor the comment stream on YouTube. Now, anybody that's ever looked at a comment stream on YouTube will know that it's haters, and it's just a bunch of assholes and idiots. Yeah. But I'm serious when I tell you that the comments that we get on Lamarr does a video every single Monday for us, almost every single Monday, without fail. And the comments and feedback that we get from those are just phenomenal. We did this as a way to help Lamarr, but he's also helping us because people truly love what you're doing, Lamarr, and that's great.
Thank you. So yeah,
I barely have to remove comments from your videos, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So